Hey guys, Bipolar Eclipse here. I was recording on my phone, but the little bugger cut off on me. So now my husband has geniusly rigged my camera to my selfie stick, which I didn't know could be done. Bravo James. Okay, so what I was addressing in the last one is I was getting a little more into my surgery and when I had it. So let's just start over. I can see out my window, I'm sorry. So the procedure that I had was the VSG, or vertical sleeve gastrectomy. What that is they take your stomach from essentially being the size of a football, in the case of an obese person like myself, down to the size of a banana. So my stomach went from holding about this much to about 4 ounces, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it actually is. My reason for having surgery is, I didn't address this in the last one, my reason for having surgery is because I was miserable and I felt sick all the time, and it was miserable. That's the only way to describe it. I'm trying not to laugh because my husband looks so cute. Don't laugh, it's okay. I wasn't always as big as I was. I started out the entire journey at over 437 pounds. I know I was 437 because that's my highest documented weight. I was in a size 34 pants. No, I'm not talking men's pants. Those are tiny pants. I'm talking 34 in women's, which I would show you, but I do not have anymore because I've gotten rid of them. Food's always been like, it's been more than just like food to me. It's been like the security blanket. Oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry. When I was younger, I went through a bunch of stuff that I'm not ready to address yet. When I was a teenager, I got into a really abusive relationship. And I stayed in that relationship all the way up until I met my husband when I was 19. Or 20. I think it was 20. 19. It was a pretty shitty relationship. It was a lot of me giving and him taking. And I started feeling so bad about myself because when you grow up and you're a big girl or a big guy, it's not just being big, it's any kind of body issue that you have. Growing up like that, you feel like no one is ever going to love you. And you feel like you're disgusting and just that everything in the world is wrong with you. And you feel like nobody's ever going to take the time to get past everything on the outside and love you. So I believe the first boy that told me I was beautiful. And that was the biggest mistake I've ever made in my life. As it went on, I started turning to like smoking. I used to smoke cigarettes a lot. And then I turned to food. And it was like this crutch. It was like, whenever I felt bad, I'd eat. And if I was happy, I'd eat. And if I was bored, I'd eat. And it got to the point where, I gained a little bit of weight. And I was just like, And then my dad got sick. And that's where the emotional eating became a thing that became very, very real for me. And when I was 16, my dad stopped walking. I want to say it was when I was 15 or 16 because I was in high school. He stopped walking. He lost the use of his legs. And it sucked. I went from being a teenager to an adult so fast. I didn't get to see my friends. I didn't get to go out. I didn't get to hang out with anybody. I never left my house unless it was to go to school or to go to work. And as he got sicker and he was in the hospital more, it became harder on all of us as a family. I love my dad. Please don't get me wrong, I do. He did a lot of things that weren't very nice. But I still love him because he was my dad and he was a good dad. But it was so emotionally just draining. It got to the point where I dropped out of school to help. I lost all my friends except a handful. And food became this thing for me that, I'm sorry, it became this thing for me that just, it felt good. I just sit in my room and watch TV and just eat because I didn't have anybody. And then my dad passed away. And it was like my whole world just got yanked away from me. And that's when it got out of control. I went from a size 22 up to a size 28 in a matter of a few months. And then I went up to a size 34. I was miserable. I wouldn't leave my house. I was afraid to leave my house because I didn't want people to look at me. Food has always been everything to me. But it got to the point where it took over my life and it made me so sick that I couldn't stand it. So my husband and I had a conversation and we researched a bunch of the surgeries and we found one that was going to be good for me. And we talked to my doctor and we got the ball rolling, and 10 months ago I had surgery. I had a surgery that saved my life. And it's just, you guys will see me all the time, like post pictures of my food someday. I want to be able to go out in the backyard and play with them instead of sitting down and watching my life pass me by. I changed my life because if not, I'd be laying in my bed, still weighing the same or weighing more, and I wouldn't be able to move and enjoy life. I wouldn't be able to go places with my husband. I wouldn't be able to see the smile on his face when we get to go do things, when we get to go to the park, when we walk, even if it's just to the store. I get out now and I do things. I had my surgery because I want to be able to live and enjoy life. I want to be able to get out and run a marathon. I want to be able to walk to my car without getting exhausted. And I do that now. Our life has changed and it's so much better. And I've got the biggest supporter in the entire world. I'd be lost without him. He is my absolute everything. And he's staring at me and it's making me want to cry. But I wanted to pour my heart out to you guys because I know there's a lot of people that won't do that. And I want you to know that this is not going to be one of those channels where I'm going to be happy all the time just to try to keep faces up. You need to realize that emotions are real and they're raw, and when they hit you, and there's nothing you can do but feel. This channel is to show that it's okay to feel, because it makes us all human. Don't ever be ashamed of anything, because life goes on. And if you're sad, it's not going to be there forever. And if you can't get rid of it, come here. We'll make you smile. We'll find a way. But yeah, that was me crying. Sorry. Not really. But I'm sorry, I'm about to cough your ear off. I'm sorry. It's really good. But I want you guys to know that I'm a real person that's going to get raw, that's going to get emotional, that's going to take this channel and take your mentality to places you're not going to want to face. And I'm not going to apologize for that because all of us need to deal with our emotions. It'll make you feel better. Enough of that. I'm so sorry. I'm going to cut this one off. I promised you guys a long vlog, and here it is. I want you to know that you're loved and that you're beautiful. And even if you feel like today is a day where you can't breathe and you don't want to move, there are people out there that care and that you're not by yourself anymore. I love you guys very much.